Hey, little people, big world. Beautiful audience. Today's news is very existing because you don't know.
Chris Merrick.
Finally, secret girlfriend.
Get married.
Revealed today. And Amy Roloff. Officially separated. Amy Roloff. Emotional. And she is, right now, illness. Hospitalized. I will explain everything today. You don't miss. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of Little People, Big World, then you already know how dramatic and emotional things can get with the Roloff family. But today's update is something no one really saw coming. We're diving deep into the rumors and the latest developments about Chris Merrick, yes, Amy Roloff's husband, and a possible secret relationship, and even a surprise marriage revelation. Plus, we're also talking about Amy Roloff and what's really going on with her. Has she finally separated from Chris? Let's break it all down. So, let's start with Chris Merrick. As many of you know, Chris came into Amy Roloff's life after her split from Matt Roloff. At first, fans were unsure how to feel about him, but over time, most people grew to love Chris. He seemed kind, patient, and genuinely caring about Amy. They got married in 2021, and everything looked pretty perfect, at least from the outside. But now, reports are surfacing that Chris might have had another woman in his life, either before Amy or even during their marriage. Some online sources have claimed that Chris had been seen spending time with a woman who is definitely not Amy, and the rumors are heating up fast. This mystery woman hasn't been officially named, but there are whispers that Chris may have kept this relationship very private, possibly even overlapping with the early days of his relationship with Amy. Some fans are speculating that this woman might have actually been someone from his past, maybe a longtime friend or even an ex-girlfriend he reconnected with. What's making fans even more suspicious is that Chris has recently been seen without Amy at several public events. While that doesn't automatically mean there's trouble in paradise, it does raise questions, especially now that some followers are pointing out that Amy hasn't posted many pictures with Chris lately on social media. Now, here's where things take an even more shocking turn. According to a few unconfirmed reports, Chris may have recently been spotted at what looked like a small wedding ceremony, and no, Amy was not there. This has led to a ton of speculation that Chris might have secretly gotten married, possibly to this other woman. It's important to say that nothing has been officially confirmed by Chris or Amy. Neither of them has made a public statement about any separation or a new marriage. But when fans started noticing that Amy had removed or archived several pictures of her and Chris together from her Instagram, that just added fuel to the fire. Now, let's switch gears and talk about Amy. Everyone knows she's been through a lot over the years, from her long and emotional marriage to Matt Roloff, the ups and downs of raising 4 kids, the divorce, and then starting fresh with Chris. So for fans, seeing Amy happy with Chris was really refreshing. She even talked openly on the show about how she never expected to find love again after her divorce, and how much she appreciated having Chris in her life. But in the past few months, some fans have noticed that Amy's energy has changed. In her recent social media videos and live chats, she's appeared a little more serious, sometimes even emotional. While she hasn't addressed anything directly about her relationship, some of her comments have hinted that things may not be going well behind the scenes. In one of her Instagram lives, she talked about focusing on self-care and starting over, which led fans to wonder if she was talking about her marriage. In another post, she mentioned that not every journey goes the way we planned. Again, she didn't name names, but people are reading between the lines. So, is Amy Roloff finally separated from Chris Merrick? At this point, we can't say for sure, but there are a lot of signs pointing in that direction. They haven't been seen together in a while, they haven't posted about each other, and there's been a noticeable shift in how they talk, or don't talk, about each other. If they are separated, it's possible they're just keeping things private for now, which would make sense given how public their lives have been for years. Amy has always been someone who values honesty and emotional growth. If she is going through a separation, she'll likely open up about it in her own time and in her own way. For now, all we can do is watch and wait. So, what about the fans? Well, people are definitely divided. Some believe Chris would never cheat on Amy or hide something so serious. Others think the signs are too obvious to ignore and that Amy deserves better. Some people are even saying that Amy looks happier now that she's spending more time alone or with her close friends and family. Others think this could all just be a big misunderstanding, and that Chris and Amy might just be spending time apart for other reasons: work, personal space, or even filming schedules. After all, not everything we see on social media tells the full story. Still, if the rumors about Chris secretly getting married to someone else are true, that would be a huge betrayal, not just to Amy, but to fans who have supported their relationship from the beginning. It would also be shocking given how stable Chris always appeared to be on the show. Whatever the truth is, one thing's for sure: this is one of the biggest developments to hit the little people, big world in a long time. Whether Amy and Chris have truly separated, whether there really is a secret girlfriend and marriage, or whether this is all just gossip and confusion, we'll be watching closely to see what happens next. Until then, let's send Amy some love and support. No matter what she's going through, she deserves happiness, peace, and real love. And if she has moved on or is choosing to be single, that's totally okay too. Zach Roloff, one of the stars of Little People, Big World, has always been open about living with dwarfism. And now, he's having to answer some tough questions from his own son, Jackson. Recently, Zach shared a very personal moment about his son, asking why he's different from the other kids. It's something many parents might face in one form or another, but when it comes to physical differences, especially something like dwarfism, it can be emotional and challenging. Jackson is now at an age where he's starting to notice things. He sees how he looks compared to his classmates, his friends, even strangers. He's smart, observant, and he's beginning to ask real questions. According to Zach, Jackson recently came up and asked something like, "Why are my legs shorter than theirs?" Or, "Why can't I run as fast as my friends?" And just like that, Zach and his wife, Tori, had to sit down and have that first real conversation about difference, identity, and confidence. For Zach, it brought back memories of his own childhood. Growing up with dwarfism wasn't easy for him. He's talked on the show before about being bullied, being underestimated, and facing surgeries and pain that most kids don't have to go through. So, hearing those questions from Jackson hit home. But Zach and Tori have always said they want to raise their kids with confidence and pride in who they are. That includes not hiding the truth, but also not letting it define everything. When Jackson asked why he was different, Zach said he told him the truth, simple but honest. He explained that he has a condition called achondroplasia, which is the most common form of dwarfism. He told him that this affects how his body grows, especially his arms and legs. He reminded Jackson that it doesn't change who he is inside. He also told him that being different isn't a bad thing. That everyone, no matter how they look, has something that makes them unique. Some kids are tall, some are short. Some kids wear glasses, some don't. Some kids are fast runners, others are better at drawing, reading, or making friends. Tori also added that they're always there to talk, and Jackson can ask them anything, anytime. She's been incredibly open online and in interviews about parenting a child with dwarfism, even though she herself is average height. She said she knows there will be tough days ahead, and this is probably the first of many conversations. But she believes in empowering Jackson, not just to accept who he is, but to be proud of it. One of the sweetest things about Jackson is that he's a super happy, playful kid. If you've seen him on the show or in social media posts, he's always smiling, exploring, and enjoying life. He loves tractors, animals, and spending time on the family farm. And even though he's smaller than other kids his age, he doesn't let that stop him from climbing, running, or riding his bike. Sometimes it takes more effort. Sometimes he finds his own way to do things, but he does them. That kind of resilience is exactly what Zach hopes to keep building in his son. It's not about pretending the differences don't exist. It's about showing that they don't have to hold you back. Zach also mentioned that he remembers feeling frustrated when he was little, not being able to reach things, having to get special surgeries, being teased. So he knows what Jackson might face, and he wants to help him prepare, not by being afraid, but by being proud and informed. The family also has the advantage of experience. Zach's parents, Matt and Amy, are also little people, and they've raised 4 kids, including 3 of average height. They've dealt with all kinds of questions and challenges over the years, both in private and in the public eye. Now that Zach and Tori are parents themselves, they're taking the lessons they learned and applying them to how they raise their own kids. That means talking openly, listening carefully, and always offering support. Fans of the show have been incredibly supportive of Jackson and the whole Roloff family. Many say they've learned more about dwarfism and inclusion by watching Little People, Big World than from anywhere else. In fact, one of the big impacts of the show has been raising awareness. People see that little people live full, happy, successful lives. They fall in love, get married, raise families, start businesses, and face the same joys and struggles as anyone else. For Jackson, being part of a family that understands him is a big help. He has a dad who knows exactly what he's going through. And that's something not every child has. Zach knows this is just the beginning. As Jackson grows older, there will be more questions. There might be tough moments at school, times when he feels left out, or even times when people stare or say something unkind. But what matters most, Zach says, is that Jackson knows he is loved, supported, and valued, just as he is. It's a powerful reminder for any parent. Kids notice difference. They ask questions. And how we answer those questions helps shape how they see themselves and the world. By responding with honesty, love, and confidence, Zach and Tori are showing their son that difference isn't something to be ashamed of. It's something to understand and embrace. And maybe, through these conversations, they're helping other families do the same. Because at the end of the day, every child wants to know they're okay, just the way they are. So when Jackson asked why he's different, Zach didn't dodge the question. He answered it with truth, heart, and hope. And in doing so, he gave his son the gift of self-acceptance. Zach Roloff has opened up recently about the ongoing tension with his dad, Matt Roloff. Fans of Little People, Big World have watched this relationship change over the years. But now, Zach is making it clear his relationship with his father is, in his words, not existent. It's a strong statement, and it shows just how deep the rift has become between them. Things really started to go downhill after the family had disagreements about the Roloff family farm. The farm, which has been a central part of the show for years, was expected by many fans to stay in the family, possibly being passed down to Zach or one of his siblings. But that didn't happen. Zach had hoped to buy part of the farm from his dad, Matt. He thought it would be the natural next step, not just for himself, but for his family. He and his wife, Tori, were excited about raising their kids on the same land he grew up on. But those hopes were crushed when talks between him and his dad fell apart. Zach has said that the way his dad handled the sale of the farm was very disappointing. Instead of selling it to one of the kids, Matt put part of the land on the market. This shocked many fans and upset Zach deeply. From Zach's perspective, it felt like a betrayal. He believed he had a real chance at taking over and continuing the family tradition. But when things didn't work out, it created a serious break in trust. That break has only grown wider with time. Now, Zach says that he and his dad barely talk. In fact, he used the words not existent to describe their current relationship. They don't really communicate anymore. There's no regular contact. It's not just distant, it's basically broken. This tension has made fans wonder if it's affecting other parts of the family, especially the kids. People started asking whether Zach and Tori were keeping their kids away from Matt. Some rumors even suggested that they were using the grandkids as a way to punish Matt for what happened with the farm. Zach wants to shut those rumors down. He made it very clear that he is not withholding his children from their grandfather. He and Tori have said many times that they would never do that. Even though things are strained between Zach and Matt, they say it's important for the kids to have a relationship with their grandfather, if that's what Matt wants too. Zach explained that the distance isn't about punishment or keeping people apart. It's just the result of a damaged relationship. He's not keeping his kids away, but there also aren't any efforts being made from the other side to reach out. He said that Matt hasn't really been showing up. He's not calling or asking to see the grandkids regularly. So the lack of contact isn't just about what Zach and Tori are doing, it's also about what Matt isn't doing. Tori echoed this as well. She said that they've always tried to stay respectful and never badmouth Matt in front of their kids. She wants her children to grow up feeling loved by all their grandparents, no matter what's going on between the adults. But that doesn't mean it's been easy. Both Zach and Tori have admitted that this feud has been hard on the family. Not just emotionally, but in terms of how they move forward. The farm was supposed to be part of their lives. Now, they've had to build a new future somewhere else, without the connection they once hoped for. They've since moved to a new home, and they're doing their best to move on. Zach has focused on being a good dad and creating happy memories with his kids, even if they're not on the family farm. Still, fans continue to hope that someday, things will change. Many people have watched the Roloff family for years and feel connected to their journey. Seeing them fall apart like this has been hard to watch. But for now, Zach seems pretty clear. He doesn't have a relationship with his father right now, and he's not pretending otherwise. He says he still has love and respect for what his dad built, but the personal relationship just isn't there. That kind of honesty is tough, especially when it's so public. But Zach has always tried to be real with fans. He doesn't sugarcoat the hard stuff, and he doesn't hide how he feels. And when it comes to his kids, he's firm. He's not using them to get back at anyone. He just wants to protect them and give them a happy, stable life. Whether Matt will choose to rebuild that connection with Zach and with his grandchildren is something only time will tell. Right now, the ball seems to be in Matt's court. Zach and Tori are keeping their focus on their own little family. They're sharing their life on social media, showing their kids growing up, having fun, and learning new things. They're creating their own traditions and memories, even if it's not on the Roloff farm. Zach hasn't ruled out reconciliation. He's said before that relationships can change, and people can grow. But he also knows that rebuilding trust takes time and effort from both sides. For now, he's just being honest. His relationship with his dad isn't what it used to be. It might be broken, but he's not closing the door forever. He's just choosing what's best for his family today. And part of that choice is being clear. His kids are not part of the feud. They're innocent, and they deserve love from all sides. If Matt wants to be involved, the opportunity is there. It's a painful situation, but Zach is handling it with maturity. He's hurt, but he's not bitter. He's moving forward with love for his own family and hope that maybe someday things can be different. Tori Roloff has been dropping some major hints lately about her and Zach's future on Little People, Big World. After being a part of the show for many years, it seems like the couple might be ready to walk away, and fans are definitely picking up on the signs. In a recent Q&A on Instagram, Tori got pretty real with her followers. One fan asked how much longer she and Zach plan to stay on the show. Her answer was simple but telling. She said, "I think our time is definitely coming to a close." That one sentence has sparked a lot of speculation, and fans are now wondering, is this the end of the Roloff family era as we know it? To understand this, let's rewind a bit. Zach has been part of Little People, Big World since it first started airing back in 2006. He was just a teenager at the time. Over the years, fans have watched him grow up, get married to Tori, and become a father to 3 kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah. Viewers have loved following their journey, especially since Zach and Tori have always been so open and relatable. But it's clear that things have changed. For one, the family dynamic with Matt Roloff, Zach's father, has been tense in recent years, especially after the disagreement over the Roloff family farm. Zach and Tori had expressed interest in buying part of the farm, but things didn't go as planned. Negotiations fell through, and that caused a pretty big rift between Zach and Matt. Since then, Zach and Tori moved to Battleground, Washington, and seem to be focusing on their own life outside the farm. This shift has made many fans feel like Zach and Tori are slowly distancing themselves from the show. Tori's recent comments just confirm what a lot of people were already thinking, that their time on Little People, Big World is winding down. But this isn't the first time Tori has hinted at it. Even in earlier interviews and social media posts, she has mentioned feeling overwhelmed by the cameras and the constant filming. Being on a reality show isn't easy, especially when you're raising young children. Tori has been open about the challenges of parenting and how important it is for her to protect her kids' privacy. At some point, it makes sense that she and Zach might want to step away from the spotlight. Fans have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, many totally understand their decision. They've been on the show for nearly 2 decades, and that's a long time to share your life with the world. On the other hand, viewers are sad to see them go. Zach and Tori have always brought a sense of warmth and authenticity to the show. Their kids are adorable, and people love watching their family moments. Losing them would definitely change the dynamic of the series. Some fans are now wondering what this means for the future of Little People, Big World. With Jeremy and Molly no longer on the show, and Jacob not involved much either, Zach and Tori were the last of the Roloff kids still participating regularly. If they leave, it could mean the show is reaching its final chapter. Of course, there's always the chance that TLC could try to continue the series in a new direction, maybe focusing more on Matt and his fiancée Karen, or even starting a spin-off. But for many longtime viewers, it just wouldn't be the same. Tori and Zach haven't officially confirmed when they'll leave the show. There hasn't been an announcement about a final season yet. But based on what Tori said and the tone of her message, it definitely feels like they're preparing to move on. And honestly, it makes sense. They've created a beautiful life outside the show. Their kids are growing up fast. Maybe it's just time to close this chapter and focus on their family privately. It's also worth noting that Tori has been busy with other projects. She's active on Instagram and even started her own podcast called Raising Heights, where she talks about motherhood, marriage, and life in general. She's been building her own brand, separate from the show, and it looks like she's thinking about what comes next. For her, this could be the beginning of a new journey, one where she still connects with her audience, but on her own terms. Zach, meanwhile, has always seemed a little more private. He's not as active on social media as Tori, and he's been focusing on being a dad and supporting his family. He's had some health challenges in the past, including recent brain surgery, and fans have shown a lot of support during those tough times. It's clear that both Zach and Tori are focused on what matters most, their kids and each other. So, what can fans expect moving forward? For now, it seems like Zach and Tori will still appear on the show until their final decision is made public. But it's likely that we're seeing the beginning of their farewell. Whether it happens at the end of the season or sometime after, fans should probably start preparing for the end of the Roloff family's run on reality TV.